Hey everybody, we are going to be talking about a slightly different topic in our division unit. We have been working with the skill of division and focusing in on the steps in a division problem, as well as putting those skills in practice, in context, story problems, and using division to solve some story problems. The new skill that we're going to be working with is called estimating quotients using compatible numbers. And even though it's a relatively new skill in division, this is something that you have been using with other operations that we've done, with addition, subtraction, and multiplication. If we take a look at this phrase, good readers will tap into their background knowledge to find out what do they know already about this. Quotients, you already know quotients are the answers to division problems. We know that estimating, we have been using estimating in regards to addition, subtraction, and multiplication, and we know estimating means finding a reasonable answer. Not the exact answer, but a reasonable answer. And we know that estimating requires you to round numbers and then perform the operation, whether it's addition, subtraction, multiplication, or in this case, division. Compatible numbers. We know in the past that compatible numbers are numbers that you can easily divide that don't give you remainders. So for example, 9 and 3. They are compatible numbers because 3 can go into 9 3 times with no remainder. However, 14 and 6 are not compatible numbers because you cannot multiply 6 with a whole number to get 14. So using quotients, using compatible numbers. So we're going to be using these skills. Now if we put, let's give us a context to use estimating. Cassidy had ingredients at home to make 34 cookies. She would like to share the cookies with her 5 classmates and herself. About how many whole cookies will each student receive? One of our math practices is, first of all, to make sense of problems. So if we study this story problem, a few features that stick out to me, first of all, it's that word about. About means estimating. We are looking for a reasonable answer, not an exact, and if we are estimating, we are going to be rounding some numbers. Also, I know that we have 34 cookies. We have a total, and we are going to be sharing. And when I see that word share, that tells me that we're going to be dividing. Now, putting into groups. Now, how many groups? Well, we are going to be putting those cookies into Cassidy as well as her 5 classmates, which is a total of 6 groups. And we want to know, well, how many whole cookies will each student receive? So we are taking those 34 cookies, we're putting them into 6 groups. How many cookies will be in each group? So we have a division problem. So if we set it up as a division problem, we have 34 divided by 6. But we are estimating. So what that means is we need to round some numbers. Now what numbers do we round? Well, 2-digit numbers for sure. So we want to take this 34 and we want to round it to a number that is compatible with 6. Now if we rounded this to the nearest whole number, we would get 30 cookies. Yeah, well 30 is compatible with 6. But we can change this number to 36. So we have a choice, because 36 is compatible with 6. So your two choices are 30 and 36. Which one of these is closer to 34? That would be 36. Now we just divide. How many 6s go into 36? And your answer is 6. So about how many whole cookies will each student receive? That would be 6 cookies. Now if we tried a different problem, let's take a look at estimating quotients using compatible numbers with a slightly bigger number. Mrs. Wills would like to run the whole distance of her favorite road in northern Minnesota, the Gunflint Trail. It's true. The road is 59 miles long. That's true. If she has 6 days to run the road, about how many whole miles will she need to run each day? So again, what we want to do is make sense of the problem, one of our math practices. There's that word about that tells me we're going to estimate. We know that the road has it's a total. We're given a total, 59 miles long. And we also know that she has 6 days to do this, so about how many whole miles will she run each day? I know, just thinking about this problem, my number for each day is not going to be more than 59. I'm putting these numbers into, I'm taking that 59 and putting them into groups. I'm putting them into 6 groups. Now, about how many miles will I run each day? So when I put them into groups, that means that there will be an equal number. So if I set this up, I have 59 divided by 6. Now if I look at this, if I'm estimating, I want to take 59 and change that into some compatible numbers. So that work was 6. Now I know 6 cannot go into a 5, but I can change that 5 to something that's divisible by 6, and that's a 6. So 6 can go into 6. But then what do I do with that 9? I'm going to turn that into a 0 as a placeholder. Just so happens I'm rounding 59 to 60. Doesn't always work that way, but in this case it did. So now how many 6s can go into 6? That would be 1. How many zeros are left over? 1 0. So I have 10. So the question is about how many miles will she need to run each day, and that would be 10 miles. Again, so I'm setting up division problems. I'm changing that inside number called the dividend so that it is compatible with that divisor that's on the outside. One more example, and then we'll have you try some in a game. Now, next one, Mason wants to read Tuckett's Travels. The book is 166 pages. If he reads 8 pages before bed each night, how many days will it take him to read the book? Again, what we're talking here is a total. We have a total of 166 pages, and we are putting those pages into so many nights. But we don't know how many nights it is, but we do know that he is reading 8 pages a day. So those are going to be my groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So if he is reading 8 pages a day, if he's reading for he's reading 8 pages a day. Now if we put that 166 into groups of 8, that's going to tell us, well, how many days is it going to take him to read the book? So we have a situation where we have 166. We're putting them into groups of 8. How many will be in that group? So now we have, we're taking 166 and putting it into 8 groups. How many will be in each group? So 8 cannot go into a 1, but I just want to look a little bit further. 8 can go into 16. They are compatible with each other. So I want to keep the 16. But then what I want to do is I have one more place left over. I want to account for that place value. I'm going to use a place value holder. That's my 0. So I changed 166 to 160. That's my, I don't want to call it rounding necessarily, but I am changing this number to make it compatible with 8. 8 can go into 16 2 times. I have 1 0 left over, which I will bring on top. So if the question is, how many days will it take him to read the book? The answer will be 20 days. So that is a little background knowledge about using estimating along with division and compatible numbers to estimate quotients.